What's good is Casper. Today's video, I'm gonna be talking about the movie Wedding Crashers. Movie Wedding Crashers is a 2005 film. It's rated R and it's 1 hour and 59 minutes. Directed by David Dobkin. So I've seen this movie and it's been a very long time since I actually saw this. One of those things about this movie was I knew it was a funny movie, but I just forgot how the jokes are. Vince Vaughn and Owen Wilson as the cover, automatically know it's gonna be hilarious, but forgot how the jokes were. So I just wanted to see how funny this movie was. And man, what a rewatch, to be honest. And what a rewatch to just see all the things that literally were a cloud. You forgot about it and super blurry. So this was like a blurry, cloudy movie. So many hidden stuff in here that you definitely probably forgot. Straightforward, this movie has a comedy storyline. You just have two best buddies who are wedding crashers. Basically, they go to weddings and they crash the whole party acting as if they know everybody. Very, very slick on just the information they gather to fit in those parties. The main goal at these parties is just picking up girls and sleeping with them. Just awesome to see a lot of these actors just do their thing in this movie. Vince Vaughn was one of those actors after I saw this performance where I'm like, dang, this dude actually had a lot of pretty cool, funny roles, to be honest. I mean, this movie's 2005. In 2004, he actually had the movie Dodgeball, and that movie is top tier hilarious as well. An interesting movie that I've seen from him is Brawl in Cell Block 99. It just got me thinking, like, I gotta rewatch a lot of Vince Vaughn's movies, especially knowing that he is still active and acting right now. A lot of the stuff that I've seen from him, a lot of it just looks like a natural thing. It looks like a normal interaction that you will see in real life, just like this movie as well. So going into this movie, I like how just the pace and the way we just start off in this movie is just very, very exciting. It just grabs you in right away. This movie just has a lot of key things to it that just make this movie feel very, very full. Vince Vaughn in this movie was one of those things that I think this performance, he just knew how to handle it in the bag. This was one of those performances that I feel like with the script, this dude was probably just laughing all day reading it. It was also a performance where if you're an actor on set, just sit back and just let him, handle these lines. I think a lot of the casting in this movie is just very, very amusing just to see actors handle that perspective and then handle those in-moment things. Vince Vaughn as Jeremy Gray was an absolutely awesome choice for him to do. His comedic side with Owen Wilson is just like double thumbs up. It works, and it was one of those things, like, it felt very, very golden. Vince Vaughn in this movie, the whole performance from beginning to end, I just like how his whole character was just in this motion, was just in this storyline 100%. And I like how a lot of this stuff didn't look like a forced acting performance. Every moment with Vince Vaughn was like a perfect setup, an interesting setup, and the lines backed him up a lot. And him being able to put out this character, I think it was just an interesting attention grabber. A lot of the stuff he's doing in here, it's amusing, it's funny, it's like a player role in a way, just very, very slick with a lot of the stuff he's doing in here. His personality, and even in this movie, I feel like that's literally him. Very hilarious character in this movie. So many moments in this movie that just made me absolutely laugh. Going back to just appreciating what I'm watching, also appreciating the fact that at this age I can actually understand these jokes. I mean, Vince Vaughn is literally the definition of adult humor in this movie, so the fact that I'm able to understand a lot of his jokes and kind of feel for this guy just made this movie a lot more funny. I like how movies can just bring you back to those first watch feelings. When they're telling that joke, you're just like really thinking about, like, I could relate to that. Jeremy Gray was just an awesome character. His build up, his character development is just something that you just want to follow along throughout the whole movie. Jeremy with that crazy female in this movie, my gosh, it just added to a lot of moments of thank goodness I can understand what's going on. There's a lot of favorite moments in this movie, especially with them two doing what they gotta do, but one of my favorite moments in this movie from Vince Vaughn was when Vince Vaughn has no air in his lungs, and it makes me laugh because the lines is literally saying, if I had air I would literally yell at you right now. I was laughing so hard at that moment because you could feel those moments. I thought it was just a perfect setup, perfect scenario. Relationship with Owen Wilson, who plays John Beckwith, it just looked like two brothers. It looked like best friends for years and years, and even with the lines backing them up, they did a good job just presenting all that. One of those decisions where I'm like, whoever came up to put those two together did a great job doing that. Owen Wilson plays character John Beckwith. Owen Wilson has always had that look, that nose, and that style pretty much his whole career, and that's what I know him for. Owen Wilson is one of those actors that I feel like he should do a lot more main character roles instead of doing a lot lot of on the side good choice roles as well. But in this movie, especially with Vince Vaughn as well, it was just very insane to see his youth, just to see how young he looked in this movie. They are at an age where they do look like they're aging, but still have that young look to them. I do need to watch a lot more of his movies. Night of the Museum is like the only one I could really remember from him. It reminds me of those actors like Jennifer Love Hewitt, who just plays a lot of the same roles as well. In this movie, I do like the personality that he had in this movie, and I do like how his interactions with a lot of the other characters just made him look like the good boy, the guy who actually plays the rules right after breaking the rules for so long and being kind of grimy. I think the wedding crashing vibe and them being in all those scenarios, I think they just fit perfectly well with the style. It just fits that 2000 era. There was nothing off with his character or while I'm watching it where I'm like, dang, I forgot this scene was bad. I think the whole movie, while you're watching these two guys do their thing, is just an amusing, attractive thing to watch. I mean, there's no part in this movie besides like the little conflict that they have, but these movies always have that little conflict in the middle and then they regroup. So even that conflict wasn't even a bother. Even him acting and trying to get into that family at the end of the movie wasn't even a bother of him trying so hard. Overall, this adventure with both of them, who I would definitely call brothers, I think is just fun in general. One of those movies that rewatch it for just seeing the relationship between them. A lot of surprising stuff in this movie besides the jokes. This movie has crazy nudity. This movie did not shy away on actually showing some stuff in here, and it just adds to basically how these main characters' mentalities are. A lot of cussing, a lot of nudity, and just a lot of adult mature humor. Whoa, out of nowhere type of things. Either it's gonna catch you off guard hilariously, or it's just gonna catch you off guard like, oh, gotta cover somebody's eyes. The actors were part of this whole surprisement. Christopher Walken plays this secretary. This was like an awesome role to see him in. This kind of reminded me of the movie Click as well that I have to rewatch. But Christopher Walken is such an awesome actor, and me not being able to see a lot of his main big movies, I'm like, bro, you're slacking. Fit this role on point. For some reason, he just reminds me of Steve Buscemi's dad. I don't know what I'm looking at. I think it's the eyes. Christopher Walken in this movie, very hilarious, and I'm really glad that it wasn't a performance that took away from the movie on like the funny moments. The movie had good funny distribution throughout the whole movie from all the characters, and I'm glad Christopher Walken was able to throw in some funny lines as well. Cool performance by him. Will Ferrell's in this movie, and that was one of those things right away where I'm like, dang, when was the last time I saw this movie? Uncredited in this movie, but right away I'll just say I'm glad Will Ferrell participated and actually was down to be in this movie. I think the role for him just shows how this dude is probably funny with his group of friends at the dinner table. Wild character, wild lines, very hilarious how the more you see his character, it just shows as well that, you know, the main characters are definitely ready for the real world maturity level. Bradley Cooper plays the character Sack Lodge, and he was another character that I forgot he was in this movie. And what a performance by him to actually be a douchebag. I didn't think that he can actually play this role. Seeing this performance by him, I'm like, dang, this dude actually did a really good job just being a rich douche. You just definitely hated his character. Isla Fischer plays Gloria. I'll just say with her, man, what a wild choice to actually play this role. I mean, she absolutely freaking was in character mode throughout the whole time I saw her on screen. What was in these contracts to let these actresses do what they did in this movie? Like, it was very, very insane to see, from the crazy out of nowhere X-rated stuff to seeing her rated R almost hitting that X-rated stuff. I'm like, dang, what is going on here? There had to be something in that contract to do all these things in this movie. Absolutely insane, especially for the females. Isla Fisher as Gloria, man, what a wild character, and what a wild female to actually know. Jeremy was going through a twister with her, and she is definitely a roller coaster ride. My gosh, I thought she put out this performance very, very hilarious as well. So she actually did a really good job, surprisingly. Rachel McAdams, who plays Claire, very funny how the only movie I've really seen her for is this movie. She's obviously big known for The Notebook. Those were one of those movies that it's gonna take a while for me to actually sit back and actually watch those movies. A lot of her movies are definitely childhood style movies. Her performance in this movie I actually appreciated because she was actually doing a good job with the main actors. I like how her being integrated with these two guys, the two brothers. I really like how it just showed real life relationship struggle moments with her where you could see at that age just a lot of trouble, a lot of tribulations that she has to go through, and her being from a rich family. I thought she actually did a well job presenting a lot of the stuff in this movie. It's really cool that this movie is straight full comedy, that her character doesn't have the craziest funny lines, but you can see as well with just her personality, it's an amusing thing to watch, especially just the scenarios that they're in. Straightforward, I think this movie is an iconic movie, especially in the early 2000s. I think this movie is one of the standouts. Has a great, phenomenal soundtrack. Every music or any vibe in this movie just brings you into the party. Quality wise, this movie is great. After my watching the movie Wedding Crashers out of 10, I'm gonna have to give this movie a 9 out of 10. That's my movie review for the movie Wedding Crashers. Shout out to you guys for tuning into the video. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace, y'all.